This is the basic air filtration system that I'm working with for the CNC machine. So I just took a 20-inch by 20-inch by 1-inch MERV 13 filter. I got a pack of 6 of these for 70 something Canadian dollars on Amazon, and then it just is duct taped to a 20-inch box fan. This one is a Lasko box fan I also got at Home Depot. And in the future, what I want to do for this is put a pre-filter on the back, because the motor is exposed back here, so it's actually pulling dust really into the motor, in my opinion. So a pre-filter and maybe a carbon filter on the back would be good. But for now, this is the system that I'll be using for dust collection. So I'll be running that on high while the machine is going, and then that in combination with this dust collector machine, which I'm going to talk about now, should give me some confidence in removing a lot of the fine dust particles from the air. And I'm going to be running this machine just all the time anyways. Okay, so for the second part of my dust collection system, I got this Dustopper device from Home Depot, and it just goes on top of a 5-gallon bucket. And then I got an adapter, an adapter set, but it's not really what I was looking for. Of course, this thing uses some really obscure width of hose, but I just duct taped the crap out of it, and I'm going to put a hose clamp on there, because that just goes like that. And then that is the end of a hose with one of these metal things that will short it out and turn on the house central vac. And then for this side, I 3D printed this kind of adapter, and then it fits into another adapter, and then I'm going to hose clamp that, and I might have to duct tape that as well. That fits in okay. And then the last step that I have to figure out, and it might take me a few days or weeks, is to get a system going where this can hang from the ceiling or some other method, so it can move along with the spindle. And I'm going to be designing a dust shoe, and I purchased some of this brush material to go around that. So that'll be a later update, but so far that's the dust system, and I gave it a quick test just now, and it worked pretty good. It's pretty loud though, but the whole machine is really loud. So at the same time that I'm doing this upgrade with the dust collection system, I also went ahead and decided to change out the entire X-axis gantry with an all-metal design. So I used a design available from the Open Builds parts store for a different type of CNC machine listed here. But I modified it, and I added their NEMA 23 mount, which is held on with a M5 screw and 2 M5 screws with a T-nut, and on the other side of that one M5 screw is a just a flat nut. I'm not sure how well that'll hold up with vibrations, but we'll see. Same thing on the other side. And for the screws with the T-nut, I had to grind them down so that they don't rub on the C-beam. And then everything else is basically the same as the old gantry, except it's replaced with metal parts instead of plastic. So I used their aluminum spacers instead of the plastic spacers, and I used the same bearings here as the plastic monstrosity, and I used aluminum spacers for the top as well, just to fill in the gap. And then for this side, I used some spacers to just push it away from the aluminum plate for the motor mount on the other side that I used. And while I was at it, I went ahead and I replaced the gantry cart on the y-axis with a metal gantry cart as well. And I saved the plastic gantry cart that I had already printed and was using. And I just repurposed it. I added it to this gantry cart since I made it so that it fits my metal spindle mount pretty good. But in the future I might change it and just, it adds quite a bit of width there, so I'd like to lower it. And another upgrade I'd like to do in the future is just to be able to move this whole C-beam up by quite a bit, because I feel like the pressure on the spindle at the very bottom here, because of how tall it is a lot more than it should be if the C-beam was up by a bit. But doing that would require me to make some significant modifications to the table of the machine, because the spoil board would have to be raised just as much as the spindle and y-axis is raised. But yeah, that's my update for now. Hopefully in the next few days I'll be able to upload another video where I start working on flattening out this spoil board and adding some mounting holes to it. I'm taking a new approach to uploading videos where I go for quantity over quality. I think that's just a better approach for me, since I end up getting a bunch of footage and then just holding on to it, never making a video from it. So this update is pretty recent. And if you enjoyed, please let me know and like and subscribe. Thank you. On a side note, if anyone's interested in these parts that made up the old x-axes on the machine, they're printed in PLA. They're okay condition. They're just pretty scuffed up in some parts, but I imagine you could make something out of it. Message me, and you pay shipping, and I'll give them away for free. I don't need them anymore.